welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favourite foundations. So these are foundations that I use in my kit and I use on myself. I've used some of them for a couple of years, some of them for 5 years. So these are all foundations that I've worn and worn and worn and I trust, and I think that you guys would really love as well. So the first one I'm going to be sharing with you is one of my all-time favourite foundations. I think everyone needs to have this in their life, and this one is the MAC Face and Body Foundation. So this is like a cult foundation at MAC. I mean, I don't know who hasn't heard of this. If you haven't heard of it, you need to go down to MAC and get a sample of it because it's amazing. Basically, this one obviously you can use on the face and the body. It's a water-based foundation, so before you use it you need to really make sure you give it a good shake, because what happens is the water separates from the actual foundation itself, so you just need to make sure you give it a shake. This foundation is almost like the next one up from a tinted moisturiser, so if you like something quite light, then I would definitely say that Face and Body is one that you need to definitely try. I would say that if you have quite problem skin, because we all suffer from the breakouts occasionally, I wouldn't use this if you sort of had acne or you were sort of prone to spots quite regularly, because it won't cover them. But you could use like more full coverage concealer. Like I really like the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage concealers, MAC Studio Finish concealer, the one in the pot. So you could use sort of like a really light foundation and then use a heavier concealer on top on the areas that it's needed. This is really long lasting, I find. I do find that you need to set it with a bit of powder. This is really good for those of you that like dewy skin. So if you don't like dewy skin and you like more of a matte finish, this isn't for you, but it's very buildable. So one of my best friends, she absolutely loves this, and she sort of just layers it up if she goes out in the evening. So you can wear this in the day and you can wear it in the evening as well, but this is just the most beautiful foundation. It's almost like a second skin, so your skin, you can still see the skin through the foundation, but it's just very, very light. So if you think about it in terms of tights, this would probably be like 30 denier tights, and then something like the Makeup Forever HD foundation, this would be like 60 denier. So if you think about how you can see the skin through the foundation, this would be quite low, but this can be built up very, very quickly. So I love that. Second favourite foundation that I'm loving as well, I've used this on and off for about 3 years now. This is the Nars Sheer Glow foundation. This isn't sheer at all, okay? So the name really is a bit misleading because it's not really that sheer. I would say that this is medium to buildable coverage, so you can really build this up as well. It's fine, but it's just got the most beautiful finish. Again, you really need to shake this well before you use it, but it's got a really, really beautiful kind of glowy finish to it. So in terms of how it compares to Face and Body, it's got more coverage and it isn't as shiny or as glowy as MAC Face and Body. So if you want it to be slightly more matte, then Nars Sheer Glow would be better for you. I would also say that this photographs really well. So we've all been there when we've been on a night out and everyone's been taking pictures, and then the next day you get some notifications that you've been tagged in a picture and you're just like, oh my god, what is this gonna look like? And you go on and your face is just white, just ghostly white. So if you suffer from any kind of like picture problems, then Nars Sheer Glow is a really good one to try. So this has got a bit more coverage than Face and Body, but this is very buildable as well, and it's just a little bit more matte, but you still get a nice dewy finish to it. So I love that one. Next foundation that I'm going to show you is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is my favourite foundation in the whole wide world to use on myself. I also have it in my kit as well, but this is just amazing. It's oil free, so it's really good for those of you out there that like maybe a little bit more of a matte finish, or if you have more oily skin, because obviously it's going to control oil more. But however, it's not completely matte, which I like, because I don't think it's natural for anyone to have really matte skin. I mean, obviously if you've got oily skin you do need to powder, but I just don't like a completely matte finish. I think it's nice to have, it's nice for the skin to have a bit of radiance and a bit of a glow, whether you use, say, maybe if you use a powder all over the skin, maybe go in with a cream highlighter along the cheekbones so it adds more texture to the skin. So if you've got oily skin, you need to get this. If you've got normal skin, you need to get this. And if you have dry skin, you need to get this. but you need to moisturise very well before you put it on. I would say that if your skin is slightly more dry, you might be better off using something like Face and Body or even Nars Sheer Glow, but if you do want to get this, and I highly recommend that you do, just really make sure that you exfoliate properly and there's sort of no dry patches because it will stick to them. This is very, very long lasting. I will wear this all evening if I'm going out. I wear it in the day as well, but I use a smaller amount than what I would do going out, and this just photographs amazingly. Like, I remember the first time I wore this and I went out, and like, you know, when you go out you get your picture taken sometimes, and I was like looking back at the pictures and I was like, wow, like my skin's never looked this good using a foundation before. It just blurs everything. It is absolutely amazing. What's even better as well about this is Sephora now ship makeup forever to the UK, so you can get anything, you can get most things on the Sephora website now and get it shipped over here, so it's a much easier to get hold of. So how could I not have a Chanel foundation in here? Chanel foundations are absolutely beautiful. I remember they used to do one called Pro Lumiere, which they discontinued a couple of years ago, and I can't believe they discontinued it because the new one that they brought out is just nothing on the old one. So please, Chanel, bring it back. But the one that I'm talking about today is Lift Lumiere. So if you've got slightly more mature skin, or if your skin's quite sort of feeling a bit blur, or it's feeling quite dry, this is amazing because it really picks the skin up, gives it a lot of radiance, so it's very, very, very good if you've got more dry skin as well. You've got an SPF 15 in here, so you could wear this during the day, but I would probably still put a sun protection underneath the skin if you do go out quite a lot in the sun, in the daylight, because this isn't really going to do much to protect your skin. And I really love this one as well because it just really smooths the skin out. So again, it's got almost like a blurring effect, but it's so moisturising and it just sits on the skin really, really beautifully. So if you have got more mature skin, or if you want something that's going to be more firming and lifting because of the skincare properties in this, I would really recommend that you try the Lift Lumiere. Vita Lumiere by Chanel as well is really beautiful. Vita Lumiere Aqua, which is the one in the little, it's not in a bottle like this, it's in like a really short stubby bottle. That's really nice as well, and it's actually very similar to MAC Face and Body, but it's got a little bit more coverage to it. So yeah, I really like this one, and I just think, you know, if your skin is sort of looking a bit more tired and you need a real pick-me-up, then this actually does that. So my final foundation today is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So I've used this in a few of my videos before, and I absolutely love this one as well. This is an old favourite of mine. I've used it on and off for about 5 years, and it's just an absolutely beautiful foundation. As you can tell by the name, it's called Luminous Silk, which is just so like, again, like most of the other foundations, it just gives a really nice luminous finish to it. However, it's oil free. So like I said before, I like quite a sort of dewy finish, but I also like to powder and control my oil a little bit to make sort of my foundation last a bit longer. This does exactly what I want it to do. So it gives me a bit of radiance, but it controls oil as well, which is what I love about it. This is a medium to buildable coverage. However, this can look cakey if you put too much on, so you need to be really, really careful with how much you put on, but I would say the coverage of this is really, really good. So it doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all. If you put too much on, obviously it's going to feel heavy, but I really like this as well because it's got no SPF in it, so this is amazing if you're going out in the evening. So basically, if you want a night out foundation for photographs, or if you're getting married and stuff like that, definitely get Luminous Silk or Makeup Forever HD foundation, because these two look amazing in photographs. So I've got one random product here for you, and as I was going through my drawers to get my foundations out to share with you guys today, I saw it and I thought I have to mention this again because it's absolutely amazing. So it's actually advertised as a foundation. I don't use it as a foundation personally, but if you want really amazing coverage, then you could use it as a foundation if you wanted to. And it is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Coverage. This stuff is crazy good. Okay, don't use this as a foundation. This is my personal opinion. Mix it with an eye cream on your hand and apply it underneath the eyes, and your bags will disappear. If you have varicose veins, this is amazing at covering those up. So if you're going to like a party or a wedding and you're wearing a short dress and you've got varicose veins on your legs or a scar or anything, put a little bit of this on, gone, literally. It's up to you if you want to use this as a foundation. If you do, please thin it out with something, so mix it with a moisturiser and then apply it. This stuff is very matte, just a warning. Once it's dry, it literally just sets to a matte finish, so it doesn't have any dewiness to it at all, which is quite good if you want it to cover something, because the last thing you want is like some sort of like really dewy luminous foundation like sitting on your leg randomly, and it's just gonna sort of like, you're gonna be able to see it more. So it's quite good that this is matte. However, I personally don't use this as a foundation because I find it way too heavy, but if you have sort of like, if you sort of suffer from any breakouts, or if you have acne scars or anything like that, like I have like a scar, like I don't know where it is, I don't know what side it is now because I've covered it up, but I have like a little scar on the side of my face. You'll see in like the videos that I've done with no makeup on, and this covers it completely. Like this stuff is seriously good. It's seriously expensive as well. It's about 30, how much is it? I reckon it's about £35, but you do get 24 months on the shelf life. So once it's opened, most foundations you only get a year, but this is 24 months, I guess, because it would last you that long. But yeah, like I said, this is really, really good under the eye as well, and it doesn't come off, like it just stays on so well. So yeah, that is my favourite top 5 foundations. So if you guys have any favourites that I didn't mention, please let me know down below in a comment so I can see, so I can go out and buy some more, because buying new foundations or discovering new foundations is like my favourite thing in the whole wide world. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next week for another video. Take care.